Hello people, welcome to the channel. UFC 296, the last card of the year, wrapped up last night. Seen a lot of people saying it was underwhelming, it was lackluster. I thought it was great. Had a good time watching it. And let's talk about it. So, I'm only going to be talking about the main card, the fights I put predictions out there for. I went 4 for 5 on the main card. Got the main event exactly right, 49-46 decision for Leon Edwards. So let's get started with the first fight of the main card. Josh Emmett knocks out Bryce Mitchell brutally. One of the worst I've seen in years. Saying into the shadow realm isn't even appropriate. Into a realm we don't know of yet. He started convulsing. He had a seizure. It was 3-4 minutes before he was up. He was still wobbly. He couldn't go to stand next to him while Josh Emmett got his hand raised. He had to be taken away, looked after medically. I think Dana White said he was okay at the post-fight presser, but this was brutal. Overhand right from the gods, right to the cheekbone of Bryce Mitchell, knocks him out stiff. Man, you gotta feel for Bryce on this one. Took it on short notice. Been talking in the media all week about how he's facing the hardest hitting 145er, and that was proved to be true. Now, he's probably still asleep, but if he's awake, he has to take 6-8 months off, a year, longer. I don't know. And I don't know, give Josh Emmett another top 10 guy, I guess. Just let him keep fighting. I don't fucking care. Admittedly, this is the only fight on the main card I got wrong. And it was also probably the least predictable fight on the main card. So, moving up on the card to Paddy Pimblett versus Tony Ferguson. A sad one for sure. Seeing Tony handed his 7th loss in a row to a relative bum in Paddy Pimblett. Now, we'll talk about Paddy because there's really not actually that much to say about Tony in my opinion. David Goggins, you're the worst MMA coach of all time. Grit and mental toughness doesn't save everything. Anywho, Paddy, he looked a little better. The striking, the boxing was cleaner. The kicks were hard. Dominant on the ground. That chin is still up in the air, so I think after this they should maybe give him like one more unranked guy, or maybe like a guy who's very low in the top 15. But I think he gets his chin cracked in his probably in his next step up, he gets his chin cracked. It's just always up in the air. Not to mention, definitely has a little bit of a questionable gas tank. Gassed out after the second round. And he said he went for the finish in the second round, and like he definitely put on the pressure. But I think he could have went harder for the finish in this fight. One of the easier fights I've had to score as an armchair judge in years. A very, very clear 30-27 for Paddy Pimblett. Tony Ferguson, simple as retire. Please retire. You need to. There's nothing for you to do anymore. Just hang up the gloves, brother. Moving up on the card to the featured fight on the main card. Shovot Rockman chokes out Stephen Wonderboy Thompson with a rear naked choke with 3 seconds or 4 seconds left of the second round, I believe. And it was, don't get me wrong. It would have been a very clear 2018 going into the third round, but I was screaming, why couldn't you last those last couple of seconds? Like, I know if it was under the neck, if it was a blood choke, he would have put him to sleep anyways. for 4 seconds for the tap, man, I wanted Wonderboy to last. I just wanted to see if he would be able to take Shovot to decision. He was not. 18-0, 18 finishes. Shovot Rockman is terrifying. Admittedly, he couldn't get Wonderboy down for like 8-9 minutes, so that's either massive props to Stephen Wonderboy Thompson's takedown defense, or there has to be a conversation had about the grappling, or at least the wrestling, of Shovot Rockman being overrated. And I think there is truth to both of that. And I think that in the next couple of fights, I think Shovot will obviously have some of the most adversity he's ever seen. I think Bilal, I think Leon, I even think Kamaru, if he comes back down to 170, I think they're all pretty tough fights for Shovot Rockman. But all that being said, still got the finish, second round. Fantastic performance. And yeah, I'd love to see him, I guess, just wait for a title fight if Bilal gets the next one, or fight Bilal. We'll see. Moving up, the co-main event of the evening, Alexandre Pantoja, Brandon Royval. I was very disappointed in this fight. I was expecting the banger of the night, and it wasn't a bad fight, but Pantoja just kind of fucking just kind of laid on him and accumulated rounds that way, you know. I had it 48-47. I think you could give Brandon Royval the third round and definitely the fifth round. But Pantoja definitely dominated him. Showed a difference in physicality on the ground. Probably just a difference in skill on the ground. And he did not want to be on the feet with Brandon Royval. Every time they were on the feet, he was getting pieced up. Now, of course, Pantoja had his moments on the feet as well. Rocked Royval at one point. But I think overall on the feet, Royval was definitely getting the better of the exchanges. And on the ground, out of positional control, I mean, Pantoja racked up a lot of control time. But I mean, he was having a really hard time passing the guard of Royval. Royval had a very strong half guard. You got mounted a couple of times, but overall, for how long Pantoja stayed and laid and prayed in this dude's fucking half guard is just absolutely insane. Mind you, scored well. Had to have been a win for Pantoja. I seen MMA Joey say that he said there was an argument that Royval won that. When I was watching it, I said, there's no way. Zero way. Don't believe that. But I still love Brandon Royval. I want to see him make his way back to the title. The main event. Leon Edwards defeats Colby Covington by a unanimous 49-46 decision. My exact prediction. And this was a boring fight, guys. I mean, it wasn't too bad. I enjoyed it I was just watching Colby lose, and I really don't love Colby that much. I mean, I do find him comical. I think he's fun to laugh at, not laugh with, you feel me? But Leon gets the dub. Good kicks. Out-wrestled, out-manned Colby Covington. Threatened submissions a couple times. Had was it like a reverse triangle, or was it? No, it was either like an inverse kind of triangle. Also threatened a guillotine earlier in the fight. And really just showed levels, showed a skill gap, showed a physicality gap. And just the ring rust really showed for Colby. He couldn't get close to Leon, couldn't touch him, couldn't keep up with him. And it was just a bad look for Colby Covington after, talking all that shit, being such a piece of shit, and to just go and have such a lackluster performance. And to go on the mic after the fight and say, I thought I won it. You're wild, bro. You won the last round. You did win the last round, but that is literally it. But yeah, I thought the card overall, especially including the prelims, definitely delivered. I enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you like all things MMA. And thank you so much for watching. Now go sleep.